Hey friends, welcome to the Time for Living podcast, your ultimate guide to finding the time you need to crush your business dreams while still having time to live your one beautiful life. I'm your host, Lucy Clark, a devoted boy mum, dedicated business owner and time-finding expert. Say goodbye to the I'm too busy mindset that's holding you back from growing your online business. No more feeling overwhelmed or stuck in the same place year after year. Each week, we'll dive deep into strategies for being intentional with your precious time so you can hit those business goals while still making time for yourself and your family. If you're ready to create more time, get practical tips and prioritize the steps that will make the biggest impact on your business and life, then you're in the right spot. Pop in your earbuds, steal a quiet moment, and let's find time together. Welcome back to the Time for Living podcast. And as you're listening right now, I know you're probably squeezing this podcast into the tiny cracks of your day. Maybe while you're powering through your morning coffee, waiting in the school pickup line, or folding laundry after a marathon of meetings. Let's be real, your calendar is a color-coded battlefield. You're fielding work emails at 7 a.m., making sure everyone's got what they need, and somehow remembering to buy birthday gifts, prep dinner, and maybe, just maybe, get 5 minutes to yourself. You're the woman who gets things done, but lately it feels like your own dreams are gathering dust on the back shelf. You tell yourself, I'll get to it when things calm down, but deep down, you know that moment never really comes. Here's the truth, you don't need to overhaul your life or find an extra hour hiding under the couch cushions. Today I want to share the strategy that helped me and so many of my clients finally carve out the time for what matters, even on the busiest days. The 25-minute focus block. This isn't about hustling harder or cramming more into your day. It's about reclaiming a slice of your time, using it with intention so you can move forward one focus block at a time. Stick with me, because by the end of this episode, you'll have a blueprint for picking tasks that actually matter, structuring your 25-minute block for real impact, and, most importantly, proving to yourself that you can make progress, even when life feels relentless. So let's get started. Let's talk about why these 25-minute focus blocks work so well, especially for women like us, whose days are already bursting at the seams. I know you're used to the idea that progress requires giant leaps or marathon work sessions. Maybe you've even caught yourself thinking, if I can't give it a whole afternoon, what's the point? But here's what I want you to know. You don't need hours of uninterrupted time to move forward. In fact, research shows that short, focused bursts like the 25-minute Pomodoro are not just effective, they're often more productive than slogging through endless to-do lists. Think about the last time you had a looming deadline or a last-minute project. You probably got more done in that crunch time than you did in the entire week leading up to it. That's because our brains thrive on clear boundaries and focused attention. When you give yourself just 25 minutes, you're telling your mind, this is it. This is my window. Suddenly, distractions fade and your energy zeroes in on what matters. But the benefits go deeper than just getting things done. Let's talk about decision fatigue for a second. You know that feeling when you've made so many choices, what to wear, what to cook, how to respond to that tricky email, that by 3 p.m. you can barely decide what's for dinner. Focus blocks erase that. When you sit down for your 25 minutes, you've already chosen your task. There's no mental ping pong, no scrolling through your to-do list wondering where to start. You just begin. And this is what's really powerful. Those small wins you rack up in each focus block, they add up. Every time you complete a task, no matter how small, you're building momentum. You're proving to yourself, I can do this. Even on the days when everything feels out of control, you can look back and say, I made progress. That feeling of accomplishment isn't just nice, it's fuel. It keeps you moving even when life is throwing curveballs. What I love about this approach is how it puts you back in the driver's seat. Instead of feeling swept along by everyone else's needs, you're carving out a pocket of time that's just for you and your priorities. You'll notice a shift. Less overwhelm, more clarity, believe it or not, more energy. When you stop trying to multitask and start focusing on one thing at a time, your brain thanks you. Suddenly, you're not just busy, you're effective. Let me share a quick story. One of my clients, who works full-time, raising 2 kids and dreaming of launching her own side business, for years had told herself she'd start when things slowed down. Spoiler alert, they never did. So she tried something different. She set aside just one 25-minute focus block each evening. No marathon session, no sacrificing sleep. In those short bursts, she wrote her business plan, set up her website, and finally launched it. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened because she committed to showing up for herself one block at a time. So if you're listening and thinking, I don't have time, I want you to know you absolutely do. All it takes is 25 minutes and a willingness to put yourself on your own priority list. This is how real progress happens, even in the busiest seasons of your life. Now let's get honest about what really fills up our days. And if you were anything like me or most of the women I work with, your to-do list is a mile long and somehow keeps growing, no matter how much you cross off. I've talked about to-do lists in previous episodes and how to build them so they don't take over your life. So if you want a deeper dive, listen into episode 31 after this. But the reality is, not all tasks are created equal. Some move the needle and some just keep us busy. That's why, when it comes to your focus block, I want you to think in terms of what I call your power task. This is the one action that, if you get it done, will move you closer to your most important goal. It's easy to fall into the trap of doing what's right in front of us, answering emails, checking notifications, handling the next urgent thing that pops up. But if we're always reacting, we never get to the work that actually matters to us. The trick is learning to pause and ask, if I only get one thing done today, what will make the biggest difference? This question is a compass. It points you away from busy work and towards progress. Let's break this down. Start by looking at your list and separating the urgent from the important. Urgent things scream for your attention, like a client email marked ASAP or a last-minute request from your boss. But important things, they're quieter. They're the projects and dreams that matter to you. Outlining that proposal, brainstorming your next big idea, or finally starting the book you've been thinking about for years. Research and time management experts agree, focusing on important, not just urgent tasks is what leads to greater results and a greater sense of control over your time. One of my favorite tools for this is the Eisenhower matrix. It really is a simple way to sort your tasks into 4 boxes: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither. Your power tasks almost always live in that important but not urgent box. They don't have a deadline breathing down your neck, but they're the ones that will move you forward if you make time for them. Here's the next step. Break those big, meaningful goals into bite-sized actions. Instead of write the report, your power task for today might be draft the outline or write the introduction. Instead of launch my website, maybe it's choose a template or write my about page. When you shrink your goals down to something you can actually finish in 25 minutes, you set yourself up for a win, and that win builds momentum. And I know the world is full of distractions and busy work. It's so tempting to use your focus block to clear out your inbox, pay a bill, or scroll through social media just for a minute. But those things rarely move you closer to your goals. They might feel productive in the moment, but they're not your power tasks. If you want your focus block to count, you'll have to guard it fiercely. That means saying no to admin, saying no to notifications, or to anything that truly doesn't matter right now. So how do you actually choose your power task? Here's a simple routine that works. Each morning before the rush begins, or even at the end of your day, take a moment to write down your top power task for the day. Not a laundry list, just the thing that, if finished, would make you feel accomplished. When your focus block starts, look at that list and go all in. No multitasking, no second guessing. Just you, your task, and 25 minutes of undivided attention. Let me give you a real-world example. One of my clients, who was constantly overwhelmed by her job and family life, wanted to work on a professional certification. But the thought of fitting in study time felt impossible. Together, we started identifying her power tasks. One day, it was review one of her chapter summaries. Another day, it was complete one practice quiz. By focusing on just one meaningful action per focus block, she made steady progress. And within a few months, she'd passed her exam and opened new doors for her career. The beauty of this approach is that it's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. When you shift your thinking from how much can I get done to what's the most important thing I can do right now, you reclaim your time and your sense of purpose. You start to see that even in a life packed with obligations, you make room for your dreams, one power task at a time. So as you plan your next focus block, remember, don't let busy work steal your best energy. Choose your power task with intention. Break it down into bite-sized actions and give it your full attention. That's how you'll build momentum, create real progress, and prove to yourself that your goals are worth your time, even if all you have is 25 minutes. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of how to structure your 25-minute block for maximum impact. Most people think, let's just go. But this is where the intention meets action, and where you'll start to see that progress is actually possible, even in the busiest seasons of your life. There's only 4 steps, and step 1 is to set a clear intention. So this is where you've come to think of your power task. So before you even touch your timer, pause and ask yourself, what specifically am I going to accomplish in this block? Go back to your power task list and make sure it's granular. It's not just work on my project or catch up on emails. More like it should be draft opening paragraph of my proposal or brainstorm 5 new ideas for the next quarter. Make sure this intention, power task, is written down and say it out loud. There's something powerful about naming your focus. It's like drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is what matters right now to me. When you start with clarity, you're far less likely to drift into distractions or busy work. Step 2 is to eliminate the distractions. Now it's time to protect your focus like it's the most important meeting of your day, because it is. Silence your phone, close unnecessary browser tabs, and let anyone around you know you're unavailable for the next 25 minutes. If you're working from home, maybe that means putting a sticky note on your door or just telling your family I'll be back in 25. If you're in the office, headphones can be your do not disturb sign. This is your protected time and you deserve it. Remember, most distractions can wait, but your goal shouldn't have to. Step 3 is use the timer. This is where the Pomodoro technique comes in. Set a timer for exactly 25 minutes. Use your phone, a kitchen timer, or one of the many Pomodoro apps out there. The ticking clock isn't just a countdown, it's a commitment. For those 25 minutes, you're giving yourself permission to focus on one thing and one thing only. You'll be amazed at how this simple act creates a sense of urgency and helps you resist the urge to multitask or wander off task. If a distraction pops into your head, like remembering you need to order groceries or reply to a text, just jot it down on a piece of paper and return to your task. This keeps your mind clear and your attention anchored on what you set out to do. Step 4. Take a 5-minute break. When the timer pings, stop. Even if you're in the middle of a thought, honour the break. Step away from your workspace, stretch, grab a glass of water or take a few deep breaths. Avoid screens if you can. Give your brain a real reset. These breaks aren't just a reward, they're essential for preventing burnout and keeping your energy high throughout the day. Research shows that these short pauses actually help your brain process and retain more information. And they make it easier to return to your next block with renewed focus and creativity. And as you get better and better at getting more granular with your power tasks, you might find that you finish your tasks early. So make the most of every minute. Don't just scroll on your phone while the timer runs out. Use those extra minutes to review what you've accomplished, make small improvements, and plan your next step. This is a great time to reflect. What worked? What could I do better next time? If you're interrupted, don't beat yourself up. Gently reset and know that you'll be able to start another 25-minute block when you can. The Pomodoro technique is about progress, not perfection. So I know some of you are asking me why. Breaking your work into 25-minute intervals makes even the biggest projects feel less overwhelming. You're not staring at a mountain, you're taking one manageable step at a time. The timer creates a sense of healthy pressure, helping you get more done in less time. And those 5-minute breaks, they're your secret weapon against exhaustion and decision fatigue, giving you the stamina to keep going. The beauty of this method is its flexibility. You can use a focus block for anything: writing, planning, brainstorming, or even tackling a dreaded admin task. Just make sure it's a power task, not busy work. The more you practice, the more you'll trust yourself to use your time with intention and see results. So as you plan your next focus block, remember, set a clear intention, guard your time, use the timer, and honor your breaks. This is how you'll turn 25 minutes into real progress, one block at a time. I know when I finish listening to podcasts, I get all motivated, but sometimes I just lose my momentum. So let's talk about how you can keep this momentum going without tipping over into overwhelm or burnout. The beauty of the 25-minute focus block is that you don't need to overhaul your schedule or stack your day with endless productivity hacks. You just start small. One focus block a day is enough to start seeing real results. That's it, just one. As you build the habit, you'll notice little pockets of time opening up. Maybe you'll add a second block some days, or you'll find a rhythm that works with your energy and your life. And here's a secret. Batching similar tasks can make your focus block even more powerful. If you have a stretch of time, group your creative work together or set aside a block just for planning or brainstorming. It's like giving your brain permission to settle into one mode instead of constantly switching gears. You'll find you get more done with less effort and less mental clutter. But let's be honest, life happens. Some days your focus block will get interrupted, some days you'll miss it altogether. That's okay, don't beat yourself up about it. Progress isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up for yourself again and again in whatever way you can. Give yourself grace, celebrate the blocks you complete, and let go of the ones you miss. Most importantly, remember this: you deserve this time. Every single focus block is an act of self-care and self-respect. It's you saying, my goals matter too. So keep showing up, keep carving out these 25 minutes, and watch how even the smallest steps add up to something extraordinary. And as we close out today's episode, I want to invite you to take a meaningful but powerful step towards reclaiming your time and your life. If your days do feel like a constant race against the clock and finding even a moment for yourself feels impossible, I've created something just for you. It's my free Taking Control of Your Time workbook. A straightforward, no fluff time audit that helps you uncover the hidden pockets of time hiding in plain sight. This workbook isn't about adding more to your plate. It's about showing you where the minutes are slipping away and how to gently reclaim them for your priorities, your passions, and yes, your peace of mind. You can grab your copy right now at timeforliving.co/taking control. Think of it as your personal roadmap to creating space for those focused, intentional, 25-minute blocks we talked about today. Because progress isn't about squeezing more hours into your day. It's about making the time you have truly work for you. And also, if you want a little extra support as you build this new rhythm, I'd love to welcome you into my email community. Every week, I send out bite-sized, actionable tips and exclusive resources designed to help you take back control of your schedule without overwhelm, guilt, or burnout. It's a space where you can feel seen, supported, and inspired to keep moving forward, one mindful step at a time. Sign up on my website, timeforliving.co. Remember, you don't need a perfect day or endless free time to make meaningful progress. Just 25 focus minutes, and once you've found them, can shift your entire trajectory. Together, let's uncover the quiet moments that can change everything. Until next time, keep moving forward, one quiet, gentle step at a time. Hey friends, thank you so much for tuning in to the Time for Living podcast today. If this episode inspired you to take action and save time, I'd be so grateful if you could leave a written review and subscribe over on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback means the world to me and helps us reach even more amazing people like you. If you know a friend who needs to hear this message, share this episode with them. And remember, your time is precious, so make every moment count. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep living, and keep making time for what matters most.